There's the saying, you can only refute a gambit by accepting it. Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress with number 132 in the series Viewers Games. If you would like your game to be analyzed on Chess to Impress, you can send it to me by email to classroomchess64@gmail.com. It is the turn of Russell, who says, "Hi Rick, my name is Russell and I live in Indianapolis in Indiana in the United States of America. I'm currently rated 1443 ELO. Here are two of my best tournament games I'd like featured as viewers games on your channel. One was played 3.5 years ago, while the other was quite recent. Both are in the attached PGN. Please let me know what you think. Yours truly, Russell." And I've taken that older game. It was played on the 6th of September 2015. It was an over-the-board game in the Ohio Chess Congress. Russell had white pieces. His rating at the time was 1563. And his opponent was James Lake with a rating of 1719. So Russell was outrated by about 150 points. Let's see what happened in this game. Russell opened with a d-pawn. Knight f6, c4, c5, d5 and b5. We have a Benkő gambit named after the Hungarian-American grandmaster Pál Benkő. In some countries it is called the Volga gambit. Very sharp opening. Russell took and a6. This is the real gambit. You can of course accept the gambit. B takes a6. That is what Russell did. Then black typically gets counterplay over the a file and the b file, aided by a bishop on g7. Other options are after a6 to play b6, not accept the gambit. You can also play e3 to protect your b5 pawn, or you can play knight c3 also to protect that pawn. But as mentioned, Russell accepted the gambit. There's the saying, you can only refute a gambit by accepting it. Here g6 is a move that is played often, but also just taking back the pawn with the bishop makes sense. Knight c3 developing, d6, e4, and now black takes on f1. And that will cost white his castling rights. You have to take back. White cannot castle anymore now. g6 to move that bishop to that beautiful diagonal. Knight f3 developing, and here bishop g7 makes a lot of sense. That was why you played g6, but black plays a strange one here. Plays knight f to d7. He has not completed his development and plays with the same piece twice in the opening, which as a rule of thumb is not the right thing to do. g3. Russell wants to castle by hand. He wants to play the king to g2 to free up the rook. Bishop g7. There goes the king, and black castles. Bishop f4, bringing that piece into play, and knight a6. Queen d2. White's idea is to go after that strong bishop. Because after rook e8, Russell played bishop h6, trying to get those bishops exchanged. Black wants none of that. He wants to keep that bishop, wants to keep the bishop on this beautiful diagonal. But now Russell plays h4. He's not going to centralize that rook, he's going to attack the black king. Here knight e5 is the move that's given by the engine as the best move, but black plays a bad one, plays the knight to b6 instead. The black king is going to be under heavy attack, and the black pieces are fleeing the sinking ship. Both knights are now very far away from the king. h5, Russell keeps going forward. Knight c4, hitting the queen, and the engine says the best move here is queen e2, counter-attacking the knight, and then gives knight e5 as the best move for black. The knight could have gone there in one move. Now it took the knight 3 moves to get to this square. That is a loss of time that will be very costly for black. So queen e2 is the best move according to the engine, but Russell played queen f4. Not a bad move at all. Taking that unprotected pawn on b2 is not good. The king is going to be attacked. He cannot go pawn hunting. After knight g5, the best move according to the engine, white is winning. In the game after queen f4, black played e5. That does not work, but it's already very difficult to find a good move for black. He is just lost already. Russell took en passant. Yes, black is lost, but white still has to finish it off. Let's see what happens. Taking with the rook is the best move according to the engine, but black took with the f-pawn. Bishop g5 from Russell, attacking black's queen. The queen went to d7, and now Russell took on g6, opening up lines against black's king. This has turned out to be a very nice attacking game. Bishop g7. Maybe black's idea was to hide on h8 with the king, if white takes with the pawn on h7. But Russell takes with the rook. Rook takes h7. Strong move. Rook f8. At least black is threatening something. It's attacking the queen. Queen went to h4 on that open file. And now rook takes f3. Takes off the knight. A desperate exchange sacrifice, which white ignores. Great play from Russell. You can take it, but then there is knight e5 check. With a double attack. The king goes back to g2 and that important pawn goes off the board. White is still winning, but his attack has been slowed down somewhat. So after rook takes f3, Russell ignores the rook and plays bishop e7. Which is the best move in the position according to the engine. Wonderful move. Disturbing the bishop on g7 being protected by the queen. And now rook takes g7, check, followed by queen h7. Checkmate is the biggest threat. Beautiful move, bishop e7 from Russell. Black took on f2 with check. King takes and gives another check. And again, Russell ignores the material. He's not taking that rook. Russell is as cool as a cucumber. He's playing for checkmate, not for material gain. He played king e2 away from the rook check. Great play again from Russell, and there is a forced checkmate in the position already. Black saw nothing better than giving up the queen. That was taken. Bishop d4, and now there are two mate in two sequences here. Let's see if you can find them both. Put the video on pause, look for yourself. White checkmates the black king in two moves. There are two solutions. One of them is queen takes e6 check, rook f7 only move, and checkmate. But Russell played the more beautiful one. He played rook h8 check. Wonderful. Black resigned here. If you take with the king or with the bishop, then this is checkmate. So Russell won this game after 27 moves after rook h8 check. His opponent resigned. Great win from Russell. For a 1500 player, this was a very impressive play. Russell carried out the attack on the black king beautifully. Thanks Russell for sending in this entertaining, instructive and impressive game. I hope you enjoyed Russell's adventure in this game. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the Chess to Impress channel and please leave a comment. I will read them all and I will reply to them all. If you like the video, if you like this Viewers Game series, then please share it on social media by clicking the share button on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, on Twitter and on Facebook. This is Rick for Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.